Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So in this video we are on the VN server. This is day 4 of the VN server and my viewers made it to 530 AFK stage. So in this video I'm going to be making an AFK stage pushing guide with 5 different team formations which are the top of what people are running currently, and then also all the other information you need to know about AFK stages in the new season. So the first thing I want to mention is that on day 1 the daily cap is going to be 200 AFK stage. So you want to rush to AFK stage 200 as quickly as you can, like pretty much right after the patch goes live and we update into the new season. After that, the day after that is going to be 320 AFK stage, and then the following caps are going to be increasing around 45 to 40 stages every day. And one final thing to mention before we get into the teams is that for phase 1 of the season, which is going to last for 5 weeks at the beginning of the season, we will have an AFK stage cap of 900. After stage 900, we'll unlock the infinite stages, and I believe they're going to be 250 or so infinite stages, but you will not increase, for example, your EXP rewards, and basically the whole server is going to get rewards whenever any player completes those higher stages, so you don't even have to necessarily do them themselves. It's basically 900 is the cap for the first phase, which is going to last for 5 weeks. Okay, let's get right into it. So I'm really impressed by my viewer making up to AFK stage 530, considering that his account is nothing amazing or anything. Paragon 1 heroes plus 10 exclusive equipment upgrade on a lot of the AFK stage pushing heroes, and he has pushed so well. 530 on day 4 is honestly insane. With only level 10 faction talents, level 1 faction talents in the other ones. So as you can see, with all of these teams I've locked in, Starshard spell is the optimal artifact. Until we unlock more artifacts later on to the season, Starshard is the top performing artifact as of right now, and that is really simple because everyone of course is going to have access to the Starshard artifact because it's a non-seasonal artifact. Okay, so this was one team I saw quite a bit in factional talent stages. Basically, it is going to be the core of Iron, Almas, Arden, which I think everyone was expecting. Either this version or Tasi rather than Arden. But the advantage here is basically you have the massive crowd control from Iron. Almas is a great tank and he can also prolong the duration of crowd control. And then Arden is going to keep cycling his ultimate faster because you're going to lock down the enemies, and while they're controlled, he gains boosted energy and he can cast his ultimate for further crowd control by applying entangling vines onto all of the enemies. And this team, really, you're just going to want to have plus 10 exclusive equipment upgrade onto Iron and Arden. Those are kind of important if you're running an Iron and Arden team for AFK stages. Apart from that, the Smokey is basically going to be the damage dealer to actually burst through the enemy team, because Arden, this whole team is basically crowd control, and Smokey comes in with the damage to just entirely wipe out the enemy team. So for Smokey, ideally, if you really want to push in AFK stages, you do want to upgrade him to plus 10 exclusive equipment, because then he's also going to have that periodic stun when he casts his blue aura, which is pretty impactful. It can help your team basically survive for longer, interrupt enemies, and allow Smokey to get off his guaranteed damage from his blue aura. And then the twins you have to have for this comp, and ideally you want to have them at Supreme Plus if you really want to maximize the potential of this comp, and plus 15 exclusive equipment, but of course then you would take them to plus 20. That's basically the way to maximize your potential. And then as you can see, my viewer has pushed really far, even without having like crazy plus 20 exclusive equipment on all of his heroes, not major Paragon upgrades or anything. This is all you need. Exactly what he has here. This is exactly what you need. And this is good. And because Wilder teams are the most commonly used teams for most stages, I recommend upgrading your Wilder faction talents first, up to probably all the way to 10. And now he's gone for Graveborn second. Now, if you're just focusing AFK stages, which is what I would recommend, I would say go for Mauler second, because the other teams I'm going to show you are going to be Mauler oriented. Well, actually, there is even one Hypo Celestial team, but that's for the whales. So we'll talk about that as well. But basically, Wilders and Maulers for the majority of players are the way to go, but definitely Wilders, everyone will be leveling up because you're going to use Wilders on most of your different stages. Okay, so there we have that team. Now the other team I saw quite a bit was this version, which is very similar. It also has Almas, Iron, but now Tasi is a crowd controller rather than Arden. But if you're going to run a team like this, you want to have Rowan. Rowan basically combos much better with Tasi compared to Smokey comboing with Arden. The reason why is Rowan is going to allow you to boost up the energy for definitely your Iron to keep cycling his ultimate, but also more importantly Tasi. And then Tasi on her own is going to solo the entire enemy team with her damage because Rowan is going to keep boosting her energy. They're all going to be up in the front line to the grouped up enemy team. And Tasi is just going to permanently cycle her ultimate, getting off all of her damage and shredding through the entire enemy team. So that's why Rowan works well with Tasi, whereas in the Arden team, Arden is better for crowd controlling, but he lacks the damage, and then Smokey comes in with the damage, basically. That's why these are the two different versions you can run, and this is also very effective. But from what I've seen, the limited stages I've seen so far, Arden is actually doing a little bit better because you do want to eventually kill things with Smokey, and Arden locks them down, the enemy team, better compared to Tasi. Tasi is better dealing her own damage, and once she gets her like Mythic Plus charms, then she has the best crowd control in the game. But until then, is basically Arden who's a better crowd controller as of right now, and it allows you to run it with Smokey. So those are basically the two Iron Almas twin teams. Now, apart from this, that is not all. There is the other version of an Iron Almas, for example, Arden Team, and you can run Bonnie here, and here you can run, rather than Arden, you can run Tasi on the Stellar Bond. That will also work. Basically, Arden can be replaced for Tasi in most lineups. And of course, it is good because Bonnie debuffs to enemies, increases magical damage dealt to enemies because of her Supreme Plus ability. And then you have your Arden to deal damage and crowd control enemies. Iron will cycle crowd control, and you have the twins to give you the energy refund if they have plus 15 exclusive equipment. So for this team lineup, you'll want to have plus 10 exclusive equipment on Iron, Arden, and Bonnie. Having on Arden, it has a longer duration of his Entangling Vise crowd control. Iron, it doubles the immobilization duration of his ultimate cast, and Bonnie, it will allow her to spread her aging magic debuff onto enemies when it reaches its maximum stack. And that is important because that increases their damage output and also protects your team by debuffing them. And twins, ideally, plus 15 exclusive equipment. Plus 10, they'll work, but plus 15, eventually, you want to get them, definitely. And almost plus 5. That's basically what you need for this comp. And by the way, for the Tasi comp, it's basically pretty similar. Tasi plus 10 or above, ideally. And Rowan doesn't really need any upgrade, as you can see here. Even 1 star is enough to get the job done. Okay, now we have the Odie-oriented teams. One is going to be a Mauler team, which is the more free-to-play friendly version. That is going to be this sort of team lineup. It's going to be Frester as a tank, and Smokey as a major damage dealer, but Odie also deals a good amount of damage, and he can put his execution mark onto the enemies, and you can focus down, for example, backline enemies, which are really annoying or have crowd control, or even healers in the back, like Haywin, for example, and Smokey will unleash his blue aura and just burst through the enemy team. Coco, damage reduction, and twins for cycling. Basically, this is a very strong team. I've seen it a lot in AFK stages, and it's very free-to-play friendly as well, because you should definitely have all these Maulers prioritized in your building, and the twins and Frestro, everyone should be prioritizing. These are the 2 must-have Celestial Hypogenes for every person's account, and this is a very solid team. There's some AFK stages where basically the Iron Almas does not work, and you will have to resort to bringing out a team like this. Now, the final team, which is really interesting, you're going to see Scarlita. Scarlita is actually doing really well for AFK stages. I think there's one replay I can show you actually of a player using Scarlita. Now, my viewer doesn't have Scarlita built up, but if you have Scarlita, now is your chance to actually get value from her, because her Supreme Plus skill upgrade is actually going to be good for her in AFK stages, as well as a charm quality bonus she's going to get this season. So for AFK stages, Scarlita is actually, coming a bit back into meta. But either way, the team is very similar. Basically, just rather than Coco, you're going to have Scarlita. Scarlita has her shields. Coco had her shields. They're kind of similar in that regard. Frester will tank and provide the front line for your team. Twins are going to cycle, give haste buff, and cycle your ultimates, and then Smokey is eventually just going to kill the entire team along with Scarlita's damage with the Starshard spell. So this is a very strong team. Now, but it is using the Hypogean Celestial faction talent. So if you're going to run a team like this, like let's say you have Scarlita built for Esther and Twins, and you're planning to run this, then you should probably level up your Hypogean Celestial faction talents all the way up to level 10, because this is a very strong team for AFK stage pushing. And if you don't want to use Scarlita, you can use Taline as well. People are using Taline as well. It's basically Scarlita or Taline. Both are doing well. You don't have to use Scarlita, but Scarlita is a little bit better. And that's just really interesting, because usually in the past, Scarlita has not really been needed for much. Now here you're going to see the replay. We can take a look at it. And So Scarlita doesn't even deal that much damage here. She's just basically here to protect your allies with her shielding. That's basically it. So you see the manual. Odie's going to cast on the backline Viperion to nuke him down first because he's the major damage threat from the enemy team. Boom, he gets the nuke. Then he's going to manually cast onto Leica. And yeah, so basically that shielding of Scarlita is what you're using her for. She comes down and she dies. So it's not like she really did much. It's just for that protection and that survival. And then that one basically shield that is going to prevent you from a fatal blow, which really makes your life easier in these AFK stages. So Scarlita is just fully working as a support in this type of comp. But like, I mean, it's using her Supreme Plus skill upgrades. You would need to have her upgraded to Supreme Plus if you wanted to use her in this comp. Otherwise, use Tailing, like I said. So anyway, guys, hopefully this is helpful. Gives you a good idea of what to prepare for and how to go about AFK stages in the new season. If you follow these tips, I'm sure you'll be able to push to the daily cap every single day. You should be able to get the job done. And like, as you can see, my viewer, even without an insane account, he's like 120 stages above the cap. He's already closing in 900 is the absolute cap for this whole phase, which is gonna, this phase lasts like, I think 35 to 37 days, and he's only on day 4 and he's like at 530, and 900 is the actual ending cap. Now, one just final thing to mention is that we are going to get rewards, phase settlement. Now, this is probably going to we're going to get these rewards when the phase ends. So phase 1 is going to end, like we said, in 35 days. And then this is going to end, and there will be a calculation here. As you can see, even if you are in the top 20%, which is like, I mean, as long as you're an active player and decently pushing AFK stages, you should be in top 20% and get your maximum temporal essences. The Twilight essences, honestly, this is only for whales who have plenty of plus 15 heroes, otherwise not important. Apart from that, there is just going to be first clears. These are going to be for the endless infinite stages, basically. As you can see here, 250 is the final one to get a reward, and all these rewards are going to be given to all players upon any one player from your server getting the clear on these stages, so it doesn't have to be you. So anyway, guys, that's basically it. The season settlement, this is going to be at the end, like at the end of the season, end of season 4, so after phase 3 is even over. And then for this, even to get your maximum rewards, as you can see here, even if you're in top 20%, you're going to get your maximum temporal essences. But to get the frame, you have to get in the top 400. So top 400 of all players in AFK stages. And this is on not only, I think this is not only your server, I think this is also, yeah, your entire district. You have to be top 400 of AFK stage if you want that frame, which people are going to compete for. But anyway, guys, that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you have any other tips, you can feel free to share them in the comment section. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. And finally, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. The link will be in the description of this video and a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me at no extra cost to you and gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase from the Farlight store. But thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.